Land Championship Cup hosted by the CPL. We do have here today the free-for-all Same Civ match, as you can see on screen for today's schedule. I am sorry about the Iron Man being missed this morning, but there were catastrophic errors with the mods this morning, and that game just, woof, it was rough. But that said, things were put right back on track. The other team games have gone off without problems, and that issue with the mod has been fixed. That said, we will be breaking on into this. I will go ahead and pull up the map settings for you to see here. As you can see right now, we are taking a look at the dynamic turn timer, of course, as always, really speeding up the game by players a lot of the time will wait till the end of the turn timer in order to make those movements just to try and surprise their opponent. So when the turn timer is set to that stagnant 3 minutes, that 180-second turn timer, or even 150-second, having to wait that from turn, even as early as turn 5, all the way through can be a real headache. We'll go ahead and I'll put it on screen for you guys to see the lobby. We are waiting on SL's player right now. I have gotten 4 of the 5 civs to be put in for the random pick here to see what we are going to be working with. We're just waiting on SL's player right now. A big thanks once again to all the guys over at CPL for inviting me over to cast this weekend. It's been a great time, and the support from you guys, the viewership for this weekend has been phenomenal. Thank you so very much for coming out and supporting me, and moreover, supporting these players that have come out to represent their local communities, clans, or groups that have stepped up to really push their names out there as well. So a huge thanks to them, of course, as well for playing. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have casting. It's been an absolute blast. That said, today it will just be me, just good old Sarnath today. I did not have a co-caster for today. Spocky is catching some Z's and enjoying himself. And how are you guys all doing today? How's everyone been enjoying their weekend so far? Those team games have been pretty damn exciting, I have to admit. And the One City Challenge was absolutely phenomenal. Not gonna lie, I've actually missed playing Civ as much as I used to, and I'm definitely gonna be getting back into the swing of things. And for you guys out there that were on the fence, so to speak, into whether or not you wanted to buy it, thinking, oh, it's been out for a while, honestly, the game's going stronger now than it did when it released. And you may not think that because there aren't hundreds and hundreds of streamers for the game, but numbers are deceptive. The CPL here has been going strong for 20 years through the Civilization series, through all of its games, and right now there are 2,000 people here active. And that's absolutely phenomenal. International multiplayer. People coming together, having a great time. And that's what it's all about. Still waiting on the SL player here. I know they're trying to get their ducks in a row. They're in a team match right now. That said, we should be kicking off here in just a couple of minutes. Alright, we did get the last pick from the SL guy. So we're going to throw these up in a randomizer right now, and we're going to see exactly what the pick comes down to for today's match. Alrighty here, and I am going to throw that up for them. And the pick is going to be Gandhi. Gandhi is going to be the pick here today. So we are going to have a mirror match Gandhi game. Again, I do apologize to all our viewers out there for the delay here. We did have a little bit of trouble getting Clan SL's player in here. Oh, well, thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. And we will be jumping right on in here as soon as they ready up and lock it out. And for all of you viewers out there who are wondering what each player sent in, Gandhi, America, Khmer, Scythia, and America. Randomizer brought to you by random.org. Just waiting for wine time here to lock and go. All right, here we go, guys. Good luck to all of our players today. Remember to change the name of your capital to U. Pretty exciting game here today. Now, with Gandhi, this war weariness could be absolutely hilarious. Definitely going to be a lot of fun to see how all the colors get mixed up for our various players. Hello, everyone who is just joining us today. They're just getting themselves sorted for slot because they decided not to do that before. But the random Civ has been Gandhi today, and we have a pretty exciting match. Some pretty good players in here today, actually. Architect, Agathy, both known to me as rather strong players. Omicron disconnected. He'll be back in shortly. And for you guys who are just joining us here are the map settings today put on screen for you. We are using the fast dynamic turn timer mod in order to keep the game going at a pretty good pace. Now this turn timer will evolve as the game progresses, getting longer and longer, and as you can see, we are loading on in. We are starting in the ancient era, of course. Default number of city-states for a small map. Resources are standard. New World Age, which means more mountains, more hills for you guys that love seeing those production, those beautiful science adjacencies. We might actually see quite a few really nice ones. It's going to be pretty exciting. No barbarians this game, though. And this is, of course, the mirror match. Hopefully you guys have been really enjoying the matches this weekend. They've been absolutely great. Had a lot of good casters up today to help support these players and get the word out there about all these wonderful matches going on. And here we go. Little friendly GLHF going out there. And remember, everyone is, of course, Gandhi. So let's see where our players are starting out. Look at this oddly shaped, not even an inlet sea, just got a little bit of a W going on here. That said, we do have Archetype here on the west side of the map now. He has a lot of space to himself here through this narrow choke. However, Wine Time is right next to him. They're very close to each other. Wine Time has the double dives there at his starting area on the spawn, though. That's absolutely phenomenal. Look at all of these chops. Beautiful. Has a horse nearby as well. Second horse at the river. My wife, a saint as always, bringing me a nice hot plate of dinner. Double iron, though, for Archetype here. He does have a horse nearby as well, and he can expand up and down the peninsula as well as down in here after he locks this choke in, so he could sit rather comfortably on an easy 6 to 8 cities. And of course, he does have a Torres right here. Absolutely incredible. No hills on it, though, but definitely some high yield tiles. Moving on out east, let's see where the rest of our players have spawned in today. Agathy here spawning in towards the center bottom portion of the continent as our third player here. Scouts out the horse there nearby. It is within 3 tiles of the capital, so he'll be able to get that for possibly cab units later on if he doesn't want to go horses himself. Second horse nearby. Alongside Kabul here, he can take the settle nearby in order to grab it. Not a lot of production out here, though, unless he takes this settle right here. Now, does have the stone here, some good hills down here to expand to. But by settling down here, you're forcing this second settle further into the tundra, and that could not be very optimal for him. We'll have to see what choices are made there. Omnicron here, choosing to settle his capital on a hill here on the 2-2. He does have 2 hill sheep here on these plains, a horse nearby as well. I bet he'd absolutely love to get his hands on open sky for a Pantheon for that. That said, he does have another settle nearby, easy to take to get these horses. The third settle as well. Not much to contest him unless his opponent here from FR's Bacchus chooses to expand south. That said, plenty of room out here with lots of city-states. Agathy definitely having a bit of a lion's share of the pie here in terms of just the expand right next door as well as all up in here. Very close natural wonders for pretty much everybody, it would seem. Beautiful Galapagos there as well. It looks like Omnicron does not have a natural wonder near his position, though. So he won't be able to reap the benefits of that per se. He does have very high production tiles near him, though, in terms of base value. Even these dead tiles being flat plains are still yielding a food and production when he gets his city to those population values. That said, Archetyp's got to be absolutely thrilled to see that Torres right there. Lots of chops in the capital, plenty of stone here on the hills as well. Has the 2 cattle in reach, the horse as well. Grabs the die from that first tile grab from his city, whereas Wine Times India here, city ends up grabbing the turtle there, 2-1-1-1. Definitely not a bad tile to be working, but he does have these 2-2-1 dies that he could be working, or even the 1-3 Plains Forest Hill. My prediction, Agathy wins because of the amazing spawn, tons of space. Wine Time rolls with Archetype, FRL with KC. Maybe. That's not a bad prediction, Task Force. I think it's going to depend on if Bacchus chooses to expand west and just south maybe 1 or 2 cities along this river here, and then just expands westward and keeps like a force hovering on this border. If he has units pre-built for upgrades on that border, that war won't happen, but Omnicron would have to expand west, which is going to make him go after Kabul for sure. Because Omnicron doesn't have a lot of space here. He has to expand towards Bacchus. Yeah, scouting is going to determine, definitely. Because if Bacchus sees all this room, and he's going to, look at this warrior coming up here to the northwest. He's going to find all these city-states up here eventually, unless he, you know, moves it the opposite direction like that. Now, he's going to see the warrior here, which means he's going to know Mohenjo-Daro's got to be close by. You really have to force those guys to change capitals. I know. I told them twice in lobby. How? Oh boy. Well, there's the wine scraps. Now, if Wine Time, if he expands, he gets the choke here on the river. If he wanted to lock this down, he could settle right here, or even right here, and put the encampment here forward for that subtle pressure. And he could try to lock down that choke. Harambe is subbing for Archetype. Oh, Harambe's not in my viewer list, so that's fine. Harambe was the original player for this match. Archetype was filling in because he was busy. Oh, hello there. How are you doing, man? I have an awesome game for you guys today. This is a Gandhi mirror match, actually. And as I said before, I don't know if you had heard, but the Clan SL is subbing out. Archetype was there holding the place for Harambe. Now that said, while Harambe gets in here, we will take a closer look at the starts of these players. Now bear in mind, the Torres here is going to be absolutely huge. For those of you who are not familiar, the Torres is a 2-tile natural wonder, and it doubles the yields of the tiles around it. So even these flat plains are 2/2s. Now, no hills to make super mines out of here, but they're still really good starter tiles nonetheless. You have a goody hut down here as well. Harambe loading in right now. Does have 2 iron. Harambe is going to be in an excellent position here. He can honestly lock off this channel here and go naval and tech super hard while locking down this choke point. Kept the west spawn Torres because he basically has 0 CS around and 0 river expands. That's fair. He'll have no international trade routes. He's going to have a hard time with housing. He's going to have to deal with that, except his capital, of course. He's going to have all the resources he needs. I mean, even his 3 iron right here. He's going to have aluminum, oil, for the late game, uranium. He has all the resources he needs. He only has the 1 horse, but that's easily solved with an encampment. And judging from his position, he's probably just going to go naval anyway. There we go. That's 4. I need 1 more from Mr. Professor Dr. Wine Time. There we go. 3, 2, 1. And we are right back into the thick of it here on turn 9. Again, that pause was for SL substitute Harambe. Scout coming out here for Ogathy, checking to the southeast. He's going to be pretty happy to have that iron near his capital. The Taurus has 0 hills. It's shit. Oh, 100%. But it gives him enough base cities that he can still get a lot done. Because look at Wine Time spawn, for example. It's smaller, unless he wants to go in through there. I'll watch your video from Russia. Well, welcome from Russia, man. I hope you enjoy it. This map was handpicked. Yes, Turd. Smoky is the one who went through all the map seeds. I have no prior knowledge to any of the maps that I cast. I am literally given the map seeds 5 minutes prior to the match. First settler coming out for Wine Time here, as well as Harambe. Take another look around the map. That was a second scout for Ogathy here, realizing that, I think I'm in the middle. And choosing to scout out and around. Slinger instead of a second scout coming out for Omnicron here. I mean, he's going to have the iron back here, but this settle is, I mean, if he settles it here, it could be okay. Because you could just buy the iron. And getting into these tiles here, it wouldn't be bad. Heck, it'd probably be even better over there, but Bach is going for a triple scout open, actually. Really valuing having that map awareness and knowing where everything's at, trying to get a lucky hand at some of these goody huts. Good on him. You know, scouting's a really important part of this game. We have Lisbon all the way up here in loneliness. And that said, how are all of you doing this weekend? I hope you guys have had a great time. Had some pretty exciting matches. The One City Challenge was a lot of fun. I was really surprised to see some of the tactics used in that game mode. So I'm very excited to see how these players all interpret how to use India, and I'd say just India, but we have Chandragupta now too. How to use Gandhi's bonuses as India to their fullest. Wonder what Harambe will do with this shit corner. I've seen Harambe win games, like actual free-for-alls with skilled players, on 3 cities, so I'm not counting him out on his start. First expand going down for wine time here. Hope you're well started. Hope the keyboard is cleaner today. Nah, man. So, real talk about the keyboard. I took my kids to school yesterday, and on the way home I stopped by Walmart and picked up a cheap keyboard. It's this really cheap Logitech, and I don't care that it sounds like I'm on a typewriter when I type on it, because it's not puked on. Yeah, Eloquence, that's a very good point. No good river bonuses to take advantage of. But if Harambe here, who's filling in for Architect, decides to make some harbor and commercial adjacencies instead, he could make do with a little bit of that. And with his start, there'd be no reason to not go after harbors here. First Torres settle going down, Calcutta. Holy Site coming down already for wine time here. Goddess of the Harvest picked up for wine time. Likely got his hands on a relic. Yep, no one else quite there just yet. Settler coming out for Bacchus. Monuments are coming online. Mining completed. It says by India, so I'm sorry I can't tell you who. Now, Omnicron Scout is scouting out north here. He is getting this first settle next turn. This is actually a really nice spot. Going to be able to make use of a nice adjacency there for a commercial. And Bacchus here moving a settler naked because he's got 3 scouts out and the warrior here. Excellent vision control. Is able to come on through there and just let his units move freely, but that he can't do it for much longer. Earth Goddess picked up by our player Harambe here. Triple scout coming through for Harambe. That said, Wine Time has no scouting to his west, so he does not know Harambe is over here. He's going to be in for a little bit of surprise here, especially if this warrior could come through and just pillage this holy site. That said, we do have Agathi's first expansion coming here down by this lake. Oh yeah, yeah, Peru, all Gandhi. Each player sent me a Civ, all 5 of them, and I did some randomizer polls, and this is what came out. Yep, Bach's finding out that Ramnakran is right below him. Oh yeah, the Varu are going to be... I'm waiting for people to mix up which ones are theirs and click on the wrong ones. Everyone getting holy sites down. Goodness. Oh, wow. Holy site plus Stonehenge coming down for Harambe. So because of how the settle's gone here, one time's the ability to get a coastal settle up here, and then one over here. Yeah, he could get two if he really wanted to settle on this and the jade. Yeah, if he really wanted to give up the freshwater settle. Now, amusingly enough, if he did, he could drop a double encampment on the choke. And make that an absolute nightmare to push through. Gandhi question, if there are Varus from 3 different civs next to each other, does the third Varu affect the combat strength in the fight between the 2 other Varus? You know what, it should. I think we're going to see that today. What games do I stream? I stream a large variety of games. I stream Civ 6 is my big one. It's where most of my followers and viewers come from. I've streamed StarCraft, StarCraft 2, I've streamed Warcraft, World of Warcraft. I did streaming for the alpha and beta testing for Battle for Azeroth. I stream Masters of Orion. I'm going to be streaming Conan Exiles. A good friend of mine hooked me up with a Steam key for that, actually. And we'll get back to that list in a second, my friend, as we have Omnicron getting a little aggressive here against Box here. Having the Scout and the Warrior together. Thank you so much for the follow those blades. I hope you've been enjoying these matches this weekend as much as I have. It's been phenomenal. Getting some early mines set up. He's going to be able to reap the benefits from this over time pretty quick. Likely getting that craftsmanship boost so that he can get military units surged out in relatively short order. Now, I did see the Stonehenge shift in its appearance, so it looks like Harambe is going to be rushing the Stonehenge. We do have a builder for wine time coming out of this second city. Temple is not yet complete in the holy site there. I am sorry I'm not being quite as talkative, guys. I was cooking dinner right before the match, and I have to admit this turned out pretty good. I am interested in seeing who goes after Stockholm. And we do have another settler coming out for Box here. Uh-oh. We gonna see a builder snatch? Oh, definitely not. That settler's going bye-bye if he does. Have to keep an eye on that. Probably just some passive blocking for now. Now, Bach's other scout is all the way up here. Has met with Carthage, and he's going to find Buenos Aires here pretty shortly. So he's going to be able to sink some envoys into Mohenjo-Daro here, and if he can get suzerain of it, all of his coastal districts including his city centers, are going to start providing him extra culture. And that could really springboard him ahead, as we saw in the game yesterday, where Bob Dole's Russia just completely hijacked the culture game. Do I know the game of SCP? What is SCP? What? Tell me about it. Builder coming out of Calcutta here for Harambe. His first one having already moved onto that forested hill. Probably getting ready to cycle in for that wonderful, wonderful governor. It's probably coming soon. That said, we do have an encampment coming down for wine time here. Let's Namadol Mohenjo-Daro provides full housing. Good eye. Hey Swissy, how you doing? And welcome to the stream, champion. Maybe that's I'll keep you guys awake today. I'll say something wrong. See who pays attention. Just joined. What is this Gandhi party? Well, so what happened, champion, was each of the players sent me a Civ. I threw it into a randomizer, and it pulled one of the names out of the hat, and this is the name that got pulled. We do have the war declaration here. Harambe on wine time here. Pillages are about to go out. Chennai is about to be surrounded by these two scouts and this warrior. And we're going to see a lot of pillages come through for sure.
I'm sorry, but I do not go through that kind of shit. I don't find women throwing their pussy in.
And wine time has nothing to defend. Here comes the builder snatch at the start of the turn. Pillages the mine for the culture bonus there. Wine time is in a little bit of trouble here. Oh yeah, the Torres start? Yeah, this Torres is absolutely horrible. There are no hills here. We are very likely to see the scouts stay on top of the encampment or this one shift down just to get these pillages off. Still 3-2 tiles? Yep, very true. Better than nothing, absolutely. Oh, we do have an encampment coming down for Harambe as well. He's rescinding in kind. Now, he is getting ready with Magnus here in 5 turns, so by the time that encampment comes online, we could see a very fast general get chopped out as well. God of the Forge has been picked up by one of our players here. We're going to see who did. And that is going to be by Box. He's going to be able to get his units out a lot faster.
Yes, that kind of stuff.
Do have a slinger coming out for wine time here to aid in the defense. Scout staying fortified on the encampment. Builder is retreating. Divine Spark has been picked up by Omnicron here. Agathy going to be the last one to get the pick. However, he's not at war, but neither are KC and TDF. And FR. These 3 players are doing a little. These 2 are doing a little bit of passive aggression, and I think Agathy will as well with this scout. But other than that, we're going to see a lot of sim play out of at least 2 of these 3 players. I understand why people keep forward settling each other in war games when they literally have a quarter of the map for themselves. Well, this isn't a forward settle. The city of Ranchi here, unless you're meaning this one here. Now, this is a bit of a forward settle because of the distance, but it's still closer to his capital. So it's not really a forward settle, and it's obviously done with intent to deny him a river settle here on this river.
Okay, even if she's not throwing fit, what happens when
Craftsmanship getting picked up by two of our players, one getting early Empire already. Very likely to be Agathy here with early Empire. Better to claim first the territory than the free one.
before he was maybe
I mean, he's establishing his border there in the south. And we do have this scout coming on down, getting hit by the slinger here. Slinger must have stepped forward onto the holy site and got smacked for it.
so he's gonna
Now that said, Stonehenge is almost complete here. 3 turns on Magnus for 2 of our players. The other 3 not quite there yet.
not about taking it personal. It's about my entire go. Screaming and yelling at this one girl in the middle of the set, just like Mojo had taken River and on these matters that knowledge is currently in Mojo's
And there it is. Harambe is actually going to get the first profit of the game. Wine Time was just 2 turns away from getting it himself. Does get a warrior out in Sinai finally, shooing these scouts away. I wonder if Harambe will try to inject Crusade. That's going to be difficult to maintain because Wine Time is also going to have a religion right around the corner. And you have to remember that Wine Time also has Goddess of the Harvest, so he'll be able to get burst faith to deal with it. And we're about to find out. The Bananas religion has been founded. And he did go crusade, in fact. With the Jesuit education. So he's going to be buying his campus and theater district buildings with faith as well later on. You're an oracle, huh? Do have another warrior coming out here. Holy Site gets pillaged. Archer upgrade by Wine Time here. With the archer, he's going to be able to shoo away those scouts. The other scout just leaving for now. However, Wine Time does have a scout here on the hill. He will see Harambe's, and it's sitting on 2 promotions. With its 3rd, it could be a bit of an issue. Now, Harambe does have an encampment online, and we're very likely next turn to see some chops for a general. But Harambe is going to have to do something here with some units because he's provoked this response from Wine Time. Wine Time's very likely to chase him all the way back home. Horror about the monster who escaped in the laboratory in which you must run. You have a Steam link for it, man? I'll take a look at it. As for in the east here, we're snatching that horse. No tile purchase just yet. But it's going to be a much cheaper buy out of this city. I was really going to try hard to pronounce that, but I just decided to not make an idiot of myself. It'll be a lot cheaper to buy this tile as opposed to buying out to the 3rd tile here from Jabalpur. Totally butchered that too. Now we do have a lot of passive blocking here from these 2 scouts and the warrior. And this is only a slinger, so this could be in a lot of trouble, even across the river. Plenty of scouting going on in the north here. Agathi's sitting on his third city now. Getting a builder out. If this scout from Bacchus comes in and sees nothing at home guarding this trade route, he's probably going to declare war to snatch it. Wine time not far away either. Using Magnus to chop a builder out over here. Now, no chops have gone out yet. Harambe does have Magnus in the city. Waiting to see exactly how he chooses to utilize that. Wine time is making his religion as we speak. It'll be interesting to see what his choices are going to be for that. Because of the Crusade, we're likely to see Defender of the Faith as the reaction. And there we go. Choral music and Defender of the Faith. So his shrines and temples are going to start giving him culture as well. And he's also going to have the +4 combat strength for his units while they're defending in his borders. However, if Harambe is able to inject his religion, not only will he lose the +4, Harambe is going to have a +7. State workforce and writing getting done. We're likely to see some campuses drop. Gonna chop the world, probably. Oh, Stockholm. Okay, so this first move could be a big deal. When this warrior from Stockholm moves, either the warrior's going to get there, the slinger's going to get there, or the scout's going to get there. If Omnicron can get onto this rice tile and just fortify on it, he can declare next turn and pillage the trade route. Oof. And there's the war declaration. Omnicron might lose this settler. We're going to have to keep the camera here to see what happens.
The only thing I did was make him realize that I wasn't comfortable and he's mad about it. I didn't even get to say what I really wanted to say. And it truly didn't say a lot.
Let's see what's going to happen, guys. And the settler does get snatched away from Omnicron for Bacchus. A lot of warriors coming on down here to reinforce. Look at the game on Steam. I'll take a look at the link. I'll look after the match, man. Rip indeed. So this warrior is probably going to go down as well. Omnicron does have a horse online now. No encampment. Never escort with Slinger. Agreed. Box bringing down a lot of warriors here. He's got 3 behind this, and he's got 3 down there already, along with the scout. So it's definitely going to be pretty crazy here for Omnicron. Looking back at Agathite, now he does have a naked settler here heading out westward. If Wine Time's paying attention and keeps moving this in the right direction, nope, he's going to miss it. These woods are too thick. But he is going to see Agra here. Harambe's warrior and scout here causing no end of problems for Wine Time here. He does get the repair up on his holy site. two settlers here sitting out for Harambe now.
He gave some girl without telling, without asking. Which game is about to play the next player? This is the stuff that I
Harambe getting a lot of work done back here. I didn't say much about the time. Now, he does chop out another slinger, which I'm kind of surprised about. I wonder if he's planning an archer defense as he settles forward. Now, he's doing an excellent job of keeping line time busy. Because going for not only the holy site, but also the Stonehenge, and getting the encampment up, that set him back a bit, because those are big investments. And sure, you might think, oh, well, they got it up in only a couple of turns. Well, every turn that you spend your production on that Stonehenge, that holy site, the encampment, your opponents are spending that production on other things. Could be an archer rush. An archer rush with Crusade would be pretty goddamn terrifying. Oh, maybe. If the settler moves to the dies first, could be bad news bears. Now, Agathy does have another settler moving eastward. He does have a lot of good vision here. Taking a quick look at the city-states now. No suzerains just yet, but Box is trying to get Stockholm with his Armani, and no, Wine Time moves the warrior first, so Agathy's going to end up seeing that. Look at Vox just doing an excellent job piling on the pressure, getting archers to support these warriors as they start moving south. Omnicron definitely on the back foot here, needs to get units out to get himself ready. He'll be able to defend with archers if he can keep his couple warriors in a good formation here. He's got some good rivers to fall back on, as well as some hills here to hold, to put archers on behind them. And he'll be able to do a good job with that. We are going to take a quick look here at the great people points here. Take a look at the general here. No one's going for him just yet. No one's going for the scientist either. This is going to be Harambe versus Box. Maybe. We'll have to see. Wine Time may put up a really good defense here. Maybe, maybe not. Still no governor coming out for Wine Time yet. That is concerning. Agathy moving the settler down here. Omnicron might see the settler here. Now we do have dedications going out here. We are going to get this cleared up so we can all see what's going on. Now, we do have Harambe in a golden age, Agathy and Wine Time in a normal age, and both Omnicron and Box opting for that dark age. So we could see a heroic medieval age from those two players. Hey, what's the game setup here, Eagle? Well, welcome to the stream, first off, Eagle. And second, this is a mirror match on a small Pangea. Random. Each player submitted a Civ to be randomly drawn, and Gandhi was selected. More settlers getting chopped out here. Harambe making the most of his space. Magnus starting to get established in One Time's capital. His units are now moving westward, but he's going to be fairly surprised when he sees all these slingers here waiting to be upgraded to archers. Sent deal to someone. I'm assuming this is a peace deal. Looks like Green's going to have a great game. Maybe. But just so everyone knows, this world is round. You can put your tinfoil hats away and relax, guys. It's not flat. He could take Box Capital, just as Smokey said, within 5 turns with frigates.
And what I'm telling you is that I did not want it to happen. No, I said that I did not want it to happen. I don't give a fuck if it's happy for love.
Four cities here for Box.
Because I'm so tired of this. I am upset that I am not in control of my own venue. You have hijacked my venue. You do not share information. I have no clue that you're bringing other type of FFA into other type of FFA into you're bringing other shapes into here to be played in my venue. And I specifically said no to that. And so you're gonna tell me that you went.
Most of these guys, man, are watching over on Twitch. I multi-stream. I'm streaming on about 15 to 20 different platforms right now.
Yes, I have
Actually, yeah, 18 of them are online right now.
Sunni that was supposed
That's why you can't see everybody.
to and hate things and make people work towards them. Yeah. I have. ST have. Okay, so you have not player Witch King, not player Mojo.
Do have archers coming online for Omnicron here. No, he is back settling. I'm glad to see this. Some players forget to get that extra city out when the opportunity presents itself, but he needs more units.
She agreed that what you were doing was going to cause the same trauma that she has to deal with in Europe.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Five cities for Agathy. 6 settler is out and online. We do have Oracle coming out here. Hanging Gardens, I apologize. Same construction pattern as Oracle, and it was on a hill. Now, over here with Wine Time, this mine still has not been rebuilt. Another settler coming out. Harambe scouts the warrior coming, starts upgrading a few of these slingers into archers to get ready. Harambe sitting on 4 cities, 5th settler heading north, 6th heading southeast of his capital here. So Harambe's doing pretty good for what everyone's saying was a garbage start.
I just got off of talking. Cool. I just got off.
Now that said, we do have another holy site coming down for Agathy. Government Plaza all the way over in Mysore. I'm kind of curious as to why this is over here.
You were making more. We are
Here we go, swords upgrades hitting. Only 2 of them for now from Box.
You won't tell me when I do ask you. You know. You get mad at me when I try to be another ST. No, you don't.
And welcome to the stream for everybody just joining us today.
Really hard to try.
Archer gets promoted there. Now, Agathy does see this war going on. There's another sword upgrade. I only see one like. If you watch over on twitch.tv/Sarnath instead of over on YouTube Live, you'll see the rest of the guys watching.
That is not going to bring us close together as people. You need to understand women if you think that a girl going around sleeping with their boys is going to make them thought it was funny, and you talked to Mojo who thought it was funny. And Ted thought it was funny.
Agatha getting that 6 settler out, sending it up north here. He is getting quite a bit of benefit out of this 2-tile Dead Sea. Now he's only working one of them for now. He might be watching this war to his east, wondering how this is going to play out after it finishes, before spending any gold on buying tiles. Wine Time has agreed to peace with Harambe here. And Wine Time is really back on the back foot here. Harambe, just using those 2 scouts and a warrior, managed to set him back far enough, and look at how he expanded and went behind this. And I really want to break this down and look at this here, especially after the match, because taking a look at this, he's managed to get these 5 cities set up, 6th on the way. Now the 5th was just settled this back turn. He has a builder moving in its direction. He got the encampment up a while ago, and he's just getting improvements now on his tiles. Now that he's chopped them, you can see the mines being built as well as the pastures here. He's getting a lot of work done behind this, getting these improvements. He's provoked this huge reaction, and now there's 10 turns apiece between them. That's forced by the game system. Which means these archers are probably going to move forward and sit in this warrior's face. Who got the Golden Age? Harambe did. We covered that a little bit ago. Spooky, welcome back. Harambe got a Golden Age. Both Wine Time and Agatha got normal ages. And Omnicron and Bax got into a Dark Age. Heading back in the east side here, swords are moving forward. Warrior moving forward as well. Has the siege status over on Julper. Archer stepping up, taking the shot there. Really making good use of that God of the Forge benefit. Squeezing out those units. Did get the settler steal. Omnicron settles luck now. In the hopes that he will be able to, with that 3rd city, start cranking out a couple of units here. Good on you, Omnicron, for not throwing in the towel just on the Lost Settler, but you do need a lot more units on the field to defend this. We, of course, can see more than the players do here. So they're working on a much more limited scope of information. Does Omnicron have his iron online yet? No, he does not. This is just a 1-1-1. It has not been improved. The real saving grace here is that Box does not have a general to accompany this push. If he did, it would be absolutely devastating. There's 6th city for Harambe here in Poon. And archers are moving forward here from Harambe, pretty much drawing that line in the sand. Now, Wine Time does have the trade route to Hitu, so that's going to give him a little extra science. We are at turn 36, so taking a look at things here. Agatha is in the lead, quote, with 9 techs complete at 12 science a turn. Box matching him. Harambe at 9, but at 10.1 science a turn, so he is a little bit behind the ball there. Wine Time at 9.4 science, but 8 techs complete. And Omnicron at 7.9 per turn. Do have campuses coming down for Bacchus now in a couple of his cities here, looking to make the most of his lead that he's gained, building up science behind it. Now, Agathy has just been simming like a madman back here in terms of getting builders out, tiles improved. He's bounced Magnus up here to Agra, and he's going to start chopping these out. Third city does go down for wine time here. And that will be another horse for him, but he doesn't have either of them online. And with this 2-tile choke, pushing with land units is going to be exceptionally difficult. We could see a really big technology push here from Harambe, focusing on the naval side of the tree, along with the science, because those are both on the upper portions of the tech tree. We do have people switching over to oligarchy now. We are going to take a quick look to see if that includes our player Bacchus here. Oligarchy. Wine time is still not selected. Oligarchy picked up by Harambe. Nothing for Omnicron. And Classical Republic picked up by Agathy, realizing and recognizing that he is in relative safety and does not need oligarchy at all. Woo! Hanging Gardens is about to be online. There it is. Nope, almost. At the last stages of its construction for the Hanging Gardens here, Agathy's going to enjoy some growth in his cities as well as the housing. That said, we do have this fortified offensive line here between these two having a Cold War now. Well, Harambe is just going to sim behind this. Unfortunately, he is not... I don't think he's going to get the Hanging Gardens built here. They're both on the last stage of construction for it. I don't know if you guys have ever watched your wonders get built, but their features change as it gets closer to completion, and that's how you can tell if someone else is a bit closer. Now, we did have Jabalpur get taken. Oop. Omnicron's capital got seized by Box here. It is at threat to flip, but there are swords and archers surrounding Jabalpur here. Omnicron is definitely on the back foot here. I don't think he's going to be able to hold on against these swords. It's just going to be too much damage. Now, Stockholm has declared on Hattusa. Bacchus has declared on Hattusa as well. This following up by Wine Time securing it as well. Wine Time going to be able to secure this city-state for himself and deny everyone else its benefits. Unfortunately, Stockholm is going to make sure Box is not going to be locked out of any of these. That said, we do have drama and poetry being picked up as well. Mysore getting that government plaza finally completed here, and this isn't a really odd spot. Let's see here. I can pass that, which shouldn't have happened to begin with. You're absolutely right. Now, this government plaza is away from all of Agathy's other cities. I don't see it getting much use outside of a commercial hub adjacency. We do have an actual step wall being built as well. That 3 food and 1 faith generation. A second one up here as well. Even a third up top. Agathy really going for some faith generation here. However, Harambe is rocking it right now at 27 faith a turn. 16 faith a turn from Wine Time. 7 from Box. 17 from Agathy, actually. Pretty surprising there. Does have Dead Sea, though. We do have 2 missionaries coming out for Wine Time. Likely heading out east. He might need to send one up to this city for when the next war declaration comes. Here we go, top of the turn here. Taking a look at this war over here in the east between FR and KC. Take care. Thanks for stopping by the stream. I hope you had a good time. Archer's getting some good shots off under these swords. However, sword does get promoted. Gonna get the pillage on the trade route here. Step walls are pretty good in the mod now, Eloquence. They get +1 at feudalism. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Wine Time using those missionaries to get his cities converted right away. Now, Harambe here has made 2 galleys. These will later be upgraded. Oh, actually a 3rd galley as well. Well, these are going to be for exploring for now, but 2 of these are going to get promoted, upgraded up to caravels, and that is going to be for the boost for Merchant Republic. Question is going to be how are the players that have been pushed on the back foot going to react now? Omnicron is on the down and out unless he can swing a massive turn here by sweeping these units somehow. Now it's going to take Box misplaying pretty heavily. You're going to sleep. Well, good night. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it. And the rest of the match will be on YouTube for you to watch. Thanks again. I hope you have a good day. Oracle is about to be picked up by Harambe here. He did get Sun Tzu as well, so that's going to be a great work after the medieval era when it's no longer needed. Take a look at the great people now. No scientists yet. Next general is going to be picked up by Wine Time, and that's going to be Barca. We do have more city-state work going on here. Mohenjo-Daro declaring on Omnicron as well as Hattusa. So Mohenjo-Daro picked up by Box as well. He is going to have full housing in his coastal capital now. Excuse me. As well as anywhere else that he settles. He could actually fill this map out without any regard whatsoever to having the city center on a river as long as he can keep Mohenjo-Daro locked in. However, the Stockholm bonus being what it is, it's essentially a whole nother Divine Spark. Of course, they have to actually have the building improvements in those districts. It's not just for the district itself. Agatha here just expanding like a madman. Has 7 cities out. Settler 8 is moving on out. Holy Site's getting completed, as well as Harbor in Calcutta, Masonry getting picked up, and sailing by someone else. And there is that first harbor getting completed. Harambe going for the naval game. And against Wine Time here, even if frigates don't end the day here against these cities, because 2 of them are going to be taken by frigates alone. His capital, and of course, this city here. They could just sit on this little archway here and just rain hell on any units Wine Time tries to push through this choke. And he still has room for even more cities if he wants them. Warranted, there's a whole lot of flat death, no wanting there. But, that said, there are other things in other directions. He may change his mind later on. So, is everyone are the predictions still in at Box versus Harambe at the end? Jalpapur does get taken. Varu on the way here from Box has 3 of them marching down. Looking to finish the job here. Looks like this builder's coming out to try and get this iron online for swords, but this is too little too late, unfortunately, for Omnicron. That is exactly what's happening. Getting that builder to that iron so that he can keep this, try to keep going on. And regardless of what happens, I do want to throw a shout out to Omnicron for holding it out to the last, to the bitter end. Omnicron throwing a little playful banter there. We do have a chariot coming out for Box as well. Likely for a city-state quest. He's not going to be near Night Tech yet. That said, the noose is tightening now. He does have the iron online, but with the chariot here on all this flat land, there's just no escape. Traders and builders coming out for Box behind all this. He is looking to sim. Agatha has had pretty much free reign here. He has just been working and chugging away. Now, something worth noting is that all of the profits have been taken. Next general is going to be Boudica. Person to get it is likely to be Harambe. He is the only one going for admirals right now, and really the only person in a good spot to do so, except for perhaps maybe Wine Time if he takes that route. Omnicron trying to broker for peace. It's not gonna work. Units are closing in around this last city of Lucknow. Excuse me. With only the one iron, unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get a sword online. It's going to be way too late. I am interested to see what the follow-up is going to be behind all this. There are a lot of districts under construction in a lot of these cities. Builders getting in position. Still chops to be had in the capital even. And he's going to have to get Magnus moved over to Ranch here relatively quickly because there are a ton of chops here. Bach's really doing an excellent job here, taking some early aggression, taking advantage of another oversight of another player. Really getting a lot done, and even has a settler coming out behind this, so he is still expanding. Agathy will not be the only player with a lot of cities on the map. That said, Harambe here sticking to his 6 cities for now. Builder getting bought here. More harbors coming online. Harambe opting for the harbor route instead of the commercial hubs, realizing he has no rivers to get bonuses with. There are Varu from Wine Time as well out on the field, so it's going to be a difficult push, especially with Defender of the Faith on the board. And you, of course, have the fact that he has all of his cities converted, and these are starting to pressure Harambe's. In fact, there is even more pressure coming in from Wine Time cities than Harambe's own, and this could start pressuring the city of Kolar as well. He needs to get that city converted and ready to go. Oracle does get completed by Harambe here. I'm going to take a quick look at the culture per turn. Look at Agathy at 20.3, 18 for Harambe, 14.3 for Box, and 10 for Wine Time. Looking at 8 cities now for Agathy here. TDF making a strong showing today. Excuse me. Lots of step walls here getting thrown down as well. And once the +1 comes in at the feudalism tech for this step wall, courtesy of Eloquence are pointing that out, this is going to get even better. More galleys out here sitting just outside of view, making sure that Harambe cannot see these. Now he is bringing the Varu up. We might see some kind of timing push here. You have a settler heading out east though, following the road. And we do have a commercial hub coming down here. This is online, and we're very likely to see a harbor thrown right here for that sweet triangle adjacency bonus. Speaking of which, we have more campuses coming down from Box in the cities he's newly taken. Definitely going to be a strong showing to see once all these campuses get completed and come online. I'm very interested to see how much the science is going to explode here. Box already sitting at 18.4 to Harambe's 16.8, 13 for Wine Time, but 23 coming out for Agathy here. That said, no campuses are online just yet. Agathy's city count really showing through here. And that's what's really getting him the science. He is, of course, getting 1 science for free from the Natural Wonder up here to the north. The Yosemite here being absolutely wonderful. This is not bad at all. Has the sheep, the horse as well. No hills to speak of, but we do have the 2222. That's going to be absolutely wonderful. And that is within 3 spaces of the city of Allahabad. all these tiles are within 3 of each of these cities, so they will all eventually be picked up and made of use. And that's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And here come those docks. Harambe pulling his forces back here. Now, if Winetime moves his troops down this choke, that's going to be a pretty big mistake here. Because he's going to be losing the possibility of having the full diamond here for support bonuses, as well as having archers lined up here to get all these extra shots into that choke point. Whereas he's going to give that benefit to Harambe because it's more open on his side of this choke. Absolutely incredible game we're getting to see here today. Patusa cranking out some horses of their own. Hey, how about that? One. To clarify, 1 CS cap. Capture, rest, burn. Alrighty here. Top of the third at 47. Things are moving forward. What is this map? Shit balance. I do not pick the maps. Pico, I'm giving the map seeds 5 minutes ahead of time. GG for Omnicron. He is the first player knocked out. Thanks for playing, man. All things considered, kudos to you for sticking it out to the bitter end instead of throwing in the towel just because of the settler steal. You got a lot of respect from me just for that alone. Thanks for coming by and playing. And good luck to you in your next game. And back to my point, Pico. These map seeds are given to me 5 minutes prior to the game. I have not seen these maps before. It's a full blind for me. These maps were gone through and picked by Svoki. I'm interested to see what the plan is from Winetime here. He needs to get more development done. He needs to get districts down and more cities out. He's got to start expanding out this way. But Agathi is really heavily encroached with the city of Allahabad. It's going to be a difficult time for him sitting on those 4 cities. That said, we do have Box going from FR going into full SimCity mode here. He has another 2 settlers coming out behind this. And once those cities get settled, that is going to bring his city count to 10. He is going to be incredibly wide here in terms of cities. Agathi here looks like he has got a 9th settler out here. Oof. Box, unfortunately, okay, we do have a desync at a Harambe. And we're going to have to look and see, and he's back instantly. Alright. Taking a look at box here, we do want to see how much. Oh, look at that gold count at 486. And he is sitting on 3 per turn. Now, he got a ton of gold out of that emergency. Harambe is moving Magnus down here to Mathura to get these chops down out of these rainforests. Wine Time needs to move Magnus up to Chennai in order to chop all these out real quick. That said, Agathi does has put Liang actually in Travadrum. For those of you who are not familiar with that governor, all builders get +1 build charge trained from this city as her base. Now as she gets promoted, there's a lot of extra bonuses that can come through. Not my favorite governor per se. I'm a pretty big fan of Pingala for the extra production, or the extra science and culture generation, and then the production towards those buildings. Really nice to move them around to get fast libraries and universities up where you need them when you're into that transitional phase. Lots of improvements going on. We are at the development phase of the game now where exploration is pretty much done. And everyone is starting to sit back and sim away. Now, because of the amount of land, just the sheer land mass Box have, I'll be surprised if he doesn't have one city keep Magnus after he's done moving it around for chops. See, I don't agree with Magnus still being here in the capital. He should be moving down to Ranch now to get these chops taken care of. Yeah, I don't know why anyone would approve this map. Well, Chewbacca, that decision does not fall on me. Lots of builders coming out, lots of improvements. Now, One Time does have a warrior nearby. It'd be interesting to see the steal and delete. That said, we do have a couple of builders out here for Agathi heading towards that new city. And it looks like Travadrum is just churning out builders like crazy with Liang there to get those extra charges out. Now he does have a desert here south of Katak, and I'd like to see a pyramids built. He certainly has the space and the breathing room for it. Harambe continuing to sit back here for now, has another galley coming up, but sitting back, getting ready to be upgraded here. And taking a quick look at the science, they're at 20, 18.4, 18, 25. So Agathi is actually leading the science in terms of per turn totals, but Box has gone back and grabbed a lot of the smaller techs in order to get a lot of really good improvements up in his cities. And you can see all these builders coming out literally of the woodwork, as if, you know, you went into one of them really bad houses and hit the wall. Roaches go everywhere. Now, we're going to have a lot of beautiful campuses coming down here. He's going to chop this tile out, it looks like, without Magnus, which is unfortunate. Again, Magnus still not moved from the capital. You got to get on that, my friend. Get it down. Clear these tiles out. Get those good chops in. Same here. Varanasi has a lot of good stuff there as well. Even here in Ahmedabad, I'm going with it. Even has some good chops eventually in Bangalore. Now he's probably going to have to buy these tiles to ensure Stockholm doesn't grab them themselves. Even has a few chops down south still. Now Lucknow had not only of having the one chop here that got taken by Box actually. So nothing lost there per se except for the Magnus bonus. Drama and poetry, defensive tactics have been picked up. Batusa's getting envoys sent to it. Taking a look at the city-states here. Now, Stockholm is still under control of Box. No one really contesting him for it either. That said, we do happen to have Mohenjo-Daro still controlled by him as well. No contests there either. Levinta actually picked up by Ogathy, so we can get the Colossal Head improvements, but with Stepwells, I don't see why that would be even a focus. Hattusa has been picked up by Ogathy rather than Wine Time now, and that's going to be a big deal. Because Wine Time is actually not at war with anybody, it seems, unless that diplomacy screen is bugging out. I am interested to seeing the gold per turn, though. We are going to start here at the top. It's going to be Ogathy here. 40 gold and 11 per turn. Coming on down to Harambe here. We have 150 and 31 per turn. Those docks really paying off. Wine Time here is sitting on 87 and 10 per turn. Not bad considering the situation. And of course we have Box at 89 and 4 per turn. But Box is in the middle of developing all of these cities at once. Whereas the other players have gotten some of these cities partially developed, or some of them are fully developed even in some cases. And there is the commercial hub there with the adjacency next to the government plaza there with the ancient hall. That is going to make that a +4 commercial hub. Magnus coming in at 2 turns at Katak. And that is going to provide some very nice chops there out of those 2 tiles. Into that, those builders are going to be dipping on out. I am surprised to not see Magnus here in the capital to chop out these rainforests. These are Plains Hills. India has completed stirrups. Actually, beautiful expansion going down from Box here. Taking a look at the tech tree here, seeing where everybody is at. Ogathy and Box here, quite a ways ahead. Ogathy is the one who has completed stirrups. Box is not far behind, likely swinging for apprenticeship instead. The remainder of our players are back here in the classical era, looking at currency, horseback riding, ironworking, and of course celestial navigation. Harambe is going to be a bit further behind per se in the tree because he swung back for navigation to get those harbor districts. But it's very clear that the naval strategy towards square rigging is part of his game plan, so we're very likely to see him go up to education relatively quickly. And we do have even more harbors coming down here with commercial hubs adjacent. Even have a theater square coming online. Amphitheater is almost built there. So taking a look at the great people here, we are starting to get into these classical era scientists. And we do have Wine Time in the lead for now, but Box is not far behind. We have 3 Admiral points a turn coming up for Harambe. No one's really going to be contesting him in those this game. And Harambe is also the first on the board for these merchants. As for writers, he is also the only person down at 3 a turn, and of course the 1/1 afterward. That is going to get him some extra culture, and remember, he does have the Oracle in that city. That said, we do have the 5th settler heading up north for the coastal settle here for Wine Time. He's got to be careful. If Ogathy uses Hattusa to declare war on Wine Time, these horses could spell a load of trouble for this city in the back. That said, we have had two more religions come on to play here. We did have work ethic as well as tithe, and scripture was also grabbed here by our player from FR. Now, with scripture in play, that 25% spreading strength and 50% in the late in the mid game from that printing technology could pay off. And of course, Agathy here taking the warrior monks, the holy order to get those cheaper missionaries and apostles out, and of course the lay ministry to wake holy sites and theater square districts in every city that has that religion is going to get an extra 2 faith and culture per turn. That is going to generate quite a bit for free. Church property being picked up with the first apostle grab by Harambe here. So he's going to get that extra gold per turn, whereas cross-cultural dialogue is picked up by Wine Time. Wine Time is going to have to get his religion to spread aggressively. Now he does have it in Hattusa. However, Harambe really hasn't spread his own religion, and I think that's honestly a pretty big mistake here. Pune is going to end up converting eventually to Wine Time's faith, and that's only going to help him further with that cross-culture dialogue. Lots of galleys coming out here. Very likely seeing the beeline into the technology for caravels. Lots of warrior monks coming out here for Agathe. Where are they headed? Tebow SC2 throwing a shout out for Harambe here to win the match. Good luck, Harambe. It is going to be hard pressed here. We do have extra missionaries from Box coming out here to try and quicken the spread of his faith. Now, these city-states are very likely to get converted to his faith. However, for now, Vilnius is going to end up getting converted to Agathi's faith in 29 turns. That said, that could very well change. Classical era ending in 7 turns here. Take a look at the era score now. We do have 51 for Box, 50 for Agathy, 46 for Harambe, 36 for Wine Time. And we do need that 64 plus to hit that golden age. So if our players cannot break that 52, they are going to plummet into a dark age. It looks like Agathy is going to use these warrior monks to take Kabul. And another settler coming out. Agathy is going to be annoying TV sounds in the back. My kids are watching the Boss Baby cartoon series on Netflix. I'm sorry, but my children are a part of pretty much everything I do. And every once in a while, they'll come over, chill with me on stream, or they'll go watch the show. I'm sorry that it's annoying to you, but... Galleys moving forward. It might almost be time for the caravels. Now we do have Themistocles in the back here. Next Admiral is going to be Artemisia. That's going to be a free promotion. All these religious crabs right away. Goodness. Couple of missionaries here spreading the faith of Jamba butterflies to the world. amphitheater has completed for Harambe City now. Hyderabad has completed its commercial hub as well, so that's going to be some extra gold for Agatha here on the per turn basis. Great Lighthouse completed by Harambe as well. Lighthouse being built in this harbor for that extra gold, extra admiral points. And take a look at that. Harambe is cracking out 5 admiral points a turn. He is the only one going for them. However, these campuses are starting to come online for Box, and he is now pushing out 8 scientist points a turn. That's something that definitely cannot be ignored here. Now this galley is going to scout out the galley of Harambe here in waiting, but if it sees all these extra ones behind it, it could be bad news. Now, Box is up to 51 science a turn now that these campuses are online. 20 for Harambe, 20 for Wide Time. They're actually tied up at 31.5 for Agatha. Agatha needs to get these campuses online to bridge that gap. Take a look at culture now. Agatha cracking up 28 culture a turn. Not far behind from Harambe here. Literally 0.2 points behind. Now, Box at 28.5. Wide Time is falling behind here. Small lead for culture in the favor of Box. We do have missionaries going to spread his religion even further. I wonder if he's going to try and get a passive religious play here and just try to exert a lot of pressure here. Recorded history has gotten picked up. We could see an explosion of science. Harbor's finishing up in the west for Harambe here, and we do have Chennai and Lucknow. Lucknow getting its campus online. Chennai, meanwhile, getting that granary set up for that faster growth. Badly needed for sure. Agatha here is just going absolutely nuts with its expansions. This war in the east did end a lot quicker than everyone had predicted, though. I mean, Vox sitting here on 10 cities, and no sign of really slowing down. But if he builds tall on these 10, I mean, he's going to start growing a lead while Agatha continues to expand. That said, we do have commercial hubs coming online across the board here for Box, so his economy is going to start exploding as well. And as long as he's able to keep up in culture the whole way, those cities will pay off sooner than later. Gandhi will win. You know what, Cake? That's a pretty good guess. You know what? I think Kabul's going to win. And we do have another settler at a wine time. Where this one's going to go, maybe up this way along the coast. Chopping out more galleys here. There's going to be a ton of caravels on the field. 1, 2, 3, and 4 coastal cities here from wine time. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. do have a campus coming out here for Agathy. He's starting to build tall, and he's got plenty of builders skirting around, getting tile improvements. He even has the extra city here to secure the natural wonder tiles faster. But the question is it enough? I mean, he's still making holy sites as well. I mean, but the extra faith will be nice, but what's going to be the real go-to here? What's the real plan? We do have 4 turns until the next era here. And take a look at the scores here. We're going to have normal eras for Box, Agathy, and Harambe. Wine Time's going to drop into a dark age here. Shaolin fighters. I believe in Kabul. Varu coming on through here. The archers have cleared the way for it. Wine Time's in a lot of trouble here. Temple is up in Wine's capital. Lighthouse got picked up in Warrenville, right up there. Taking a look here at the tech tree to see where everyone's at. Agathy's still in the lead here for now, but we're pretty sure the beeline to caravels for cartography here is what's going on. That said, we do have plenty of other things going across the board here. No 4th belief locked in just yet by anybody here. Land isn't balanced. Well, there is only so much we can do to balance maps. We don't have access to the source coding of the game. Wasn't generated. It was cake. I was given this map. I was given the seed for this map for the game about 5 minutes prior to the match. As I said earlier in the stream for the casting of this match, I don't know what any of these maps look like going into them. These have been gone over by someone else and then sent in to the tournament staff. Now we are going to have a pretty big fight here between Box and Agathy sooner or later. It's definitely going to happen. It's going to be a question of when. And that's really going to come down to these science scores here. Almost 60 a turn from Box. Agathy at 33. Harambe sitting here at 21.6. Wine Time at 21.4. If Harambe gets a good swing with these caravels and can kill Wine Time off really fast, grab Chennai to get all 5 of these cities scooped really quick, if he can make it a fast war, that could explode him forward back into this game, but it has to be fast. Now, one of our India players just finished up with education, and it's going to be either Box or Agathy. Now, I don't see why Box wouldn't have been rushing for the university access, and I'm waiting to see if we can see the building animation on any of his campuses yet. Not yet, at least. We might see that in a bit, though. That one's still getting its library built up. Now, we do have some city-states changing hands here, because Agathy is declared on Kabul. And with this in mind, that means Wine Time is going to lose Kabul. Wine Time had suzerain of it. And that's a really powerful military city-state because of that double the combat experience for your units every time they hit the fight. So every time you hit a unit,
you're getting double combat experience. Time you kill a unit, double combat experience, and that's really big. Without this, all of Winetime's archers aren't going to promote very quickly when the war between him and Harambe kicks off, and that's going to be absolutely huge. Now that said, Agathi does have control of Hattusa, so that's going to give him any of the strategics that he doesn't have. Now, of course, he has to have revealed them. He's not just going to be sitting on aluminum, uranium, oil. Not until he gets those unlocked and may or may not have them. Now, it's still a very powerful bonus. Now, of course, you do have all the shrines giving him the additional 2 faith because of having Leventa. Now, Mohenjo-Daro and Stockholm still belong to Box. He hasn't been contested for them. No one has even found Stockholm yet. And Mohenjo-Daro isn't really influenced by anyone else either. So he's sitting on these envoys right now. And nobody's interacted with Lisbon yet. And as you guys look at the list, Lisbon's the only commercial city-state on the map. And it's in the middle of BFE. Literally away from everybody, except for Agathi now, simply because he expanded heavily in this direction. Feudalism getting picked up. We do have a government plaza coming down in Pune. Super late government plaza coming out for Harambe here. However, that is going to help get this commercial hub up to a 4 instead of the 3 that it was 8. And this harbor is an 8. So he is, in fact, running with the card for naval tradition for the double adjacency for his harbors. As you'll see here, all of his harbors are doing very, very well with their bonuses. And with that in mind, I mean, we're going to take another look and see what everyone's working with, starting with Agathi at the top. 8 gold and 1 per turn. He is Baroque at the moment. That said, we are taking a look now at Harambe. 219 gold and 67 a turn, really making the most of his situation. That being the case, we are looking at Wine Time with 28 and 3 per turn. And Box, the busybody, he is either making none or negative gold per turn right now. He definitely has to swing that back around. We do have quadremes as well starting to get pre-built. Alrighty here, taking a look around. We do, of course, have ourselves in a dark age as a spectator because we don't do anything in the game. Take a look at the ages here. We do have a heroic age swing for Box here. He was in a dark age before, so he swung up to a golden, and that has gotten him 3 bonuses for the medieval era, and everyone has managed to swing into a golden for the medieval era. That's actually really incredible to see, given how low era scores were not that long ago. They all eked in just under the minimum mark there. Wine Time barely make it in with that 41. players doing it. And this just goes to show the experience of these players here. They understood how much time was left. They knew how many era score points various things were going to be worth. And they planned accordingly to swing that. Artemisia is set up in Puna. Now, looking at the great people here, next Admiral is going to be Gaius. Next Scientist is going to be Omar. The last one was picked up, Hapasha, and that was grabbed by Harambe. Harambe projected out to get that Scientist. Because as you can see, he's only at 3 Scientists a turn. And that Hapasha steal is going to make a big difference of propelling him forward. Now take a look at this. Box did convert over to Classical Republic for his government. And because of that, he is milking those rewards. He's at 13.8 Scientist points a turn, which is incredible. People are starting to start contesting these merchants now. Harambe, of course, being the only one going for admirals right now. Boudica is very likely to go to Harambe here. He'll still have 2 generals there for his medieval era units. And take a look at the writers. Harambe is the only one with a theater district on table. That said, I do want to take a look at the science once again, because we did have some influential civics come into play, as you guys saw on the pop-ups on the screen. We're at 67 science a turn for Box. Harambe now is up to 76.6. And this is also coming in with these golden and heroic ages. As you guys can see, that harbor is now providing 12 science and 12 gold. This commercial hub is 8 science and 8 gold. With these policy cards and that heroic age, all these gold generating districts and structures are now also generating science for the era. And that is what made those swings that much more important. Wine time still sitting out at 27.5. Agathy has set at 37.3 science a turn. Take a look at culture now. 36.5 coming out for Harambe. 31.4 for Agathy. 49.9 for Box. And 24.9 for wine time. So Box is looking to use that heroic age swing to really give himself a bit of a lead. Now, Wine Time is starting to get more commercial hubs down, so he's going to make the most of those bonuses there. Trying to get that additional culture out from these districts, because that's what he chose, it looks like. But the other players, Harambe really using what he has to surge forward. Hapasha has not been popped yet, so he doesn't have the bonus to the libraries just yet. So this is going to go up a little bit more. Most of his campuses don't have libraries yet, so we're not going to see the full effects of Hapasha for quite some time. Now we do have more quadremes coming out here, so we're going to see a pretty huge naval hit. And once Wine Time is swept up and taken care of, however long that'll take, woe to the coastal cities up here. I mean, once it comes around this huge hook, Harambe's naval forces are going to be able to take out this city here. Harambe's playing amazing this game. I also watched his POV. Welcome back, Smokey. Absolutely, Harambe's doing an excellent job this game. His simming has always been great, and he's really showcasing it here. So much for people bitching about his spawn. Yeah. However, he's not quite out ahead yet. His science has exploded forward for now from the Golden Age. But Box got that heroic age, and once all his stuff is set up online, he's going to be getting some pretty wicked bonuses as well. He's just got to get himself to those adjacency cards. He needs to get himself up to guilds. It'll be a 3-way late game? Yeah. It'll depend on how big of a fight Wine Time can put up. Sibafar, Harambe, and Agathia in the middle. Yep. But you have to remember... Oh, yeah. Beautiful step wells from Agathia here. You get that. You got a 5-2. 5-2. definitely making the most of them in these otherwise flat grasslands. And he's turning them into something useful. Now I am going to pull up the religious lens now for a little bit, simply to show how this spread's been going on, because he hasn't done a lot of aggressive spreading. He's only moved 3 missionaries around, but he's got another 2 settlers coming out. And Wine Time, if he's seeing this, he could steal that settler. There's nothing up here to stop him. That said, I do want to take a look over here at Bach's religious lens, because he did take scriptures. And with scriptures, he's going to get that passive spread more aggressively, especially when the printing tech comes online. Harambe here's own faith being turned against him. Gandhi settler 3 movement, yeah. But this scout also has 2 promotions, so it'll be ignoring. Oh, cheeky. Have another harbor coming down here from Wine Time. Going to take a look here at the overall scores between the players. Now, look at how close this game is. Now, score has never been the best measure of who's winning, who's better, etc. But it just goes to show how building tall on a couple of cities can keep you in the running with people that are building wide. Maybe Agathy took monumentality to build the faster workers. He's generating a ton of faith. I would not be surprised by this. If you take a look over here, Box is generating 32 faith a turn. Agathy's generating 111 faith a turn. 33 for Wine Time and 46 for Harambe. I mean, I'm pretty worried for the world once Harambe locks this area down. If only because land assaults on him are going to be impossible. Because he's going to have all of the admirals this game. Which means any land assaults coming through here are going to eventually be fighting through battleships. Frigates guaranteed. So that's going to be absolutely devastating to have to deal with. Battleships at their higher range are going to be stacked all around here outside. Assuming that they're not just raining terror on all these close to the coast cities and swimming over. Bach's capital, as well as his city up here, are coastal as well. He's doing well. Stepwells give faith. Yes, they do. They also give an additional food at feudalism. Hey, Yoshi, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Lady in waiting, Gabrielle. Adding the city of Baltimore. Yes. Yes, they are. Market's coming online. Oh, flashing the cartography tech in front of him. Now, Hildegard did get picked up. Nuclear Gandhi is ready. Let's take a look at the great people now, because we had 2 scientists go out back to back here. We did have Omar go out 2 Box to get that Eureka and for 2 random techs and then the single inspiration. Hildegard gets picked up by Wine Time for that faith, and then he's going to be able to use this adjacency bonus for this holy site, which is unfortunately only 1, but it'll also start giving science. Thanks to how's the game been so far? We did have an early knockout with a classical era war breakout here with a settler steal against Omnicron. He did fight to the bitter end, so kudos to him. Oh my god, Gandhi took all the great people. Lols. Kabul here is getting, well, Kabul. All these warrior monks are just fortifying around the city so that they can milk promotions. Agathy just spreading the word of Jamba across the world. In this game, Gandhi will win. I don't believe you. I don't think you're right. Agathi are taking revenge on Kabul for all the mean, nasty things it did to him in a prior game. Tons of builders coming out for Bacchus here. Actually really glad to see this. He has a lot of tiles that aren't improved. Even has some chops still that he's got to take care of. Reina has been thrown out into the capital here. Magnus. Where is Magnus? Magnus coming in at luck now. There are no chops left there though. Well, there's one. And then if he buys this tile, another one. Perhaps the wheat if he wants to chop it for population. Lots of improvements need to be made here, but he has a ton of builders, so that's going to be great. I don't remember this in history class. Welcome to Civilization 6, where everything you thought you knew about history is wrong. Lots of quadremes up here. Harambe is ready for a naval war. Box wine time. Harambe, of course, is at cartography, but Agathi is either at gunpowder or banking. Feudalism got picked up, construction research is complete, and the banana religion is in fact spreading. The banana ram. No, I don't. I do not have the charger, young lady. So it looks like the wait's going to be here for the frigates. What? I don't have the charger. I love my children so much. Take a look here, top of the list. Take a look at what these players are working with here. 17 gold and 3 per turn for Agathi. Plenty of luxuries here. 4 horses, lots of cities. Agathi doing pretty good here, but he needs to get his economy online. Meanwhile, for Harambe, sitting on 4 luxuries, but 658 gold and 67 a turn. He has double iron and 1 horse, and he has 3 great works at the moment. At wine time here, how is he holding up now? 64 gold and 21 per turn. Doing better than he was. Has 3 luxuries here, the double horse and iron. No need gold when we buy with faith. Truth. Taking a look here at Box now. Lots of cities as well. Has the 4 luxuries. Gotten himself up to, holy cow, 101 gold a turn. 168 in the pocket. Lots of admirals. Do. Abu is going to be the next scientist up, and that will be up 2 Box here, sitting at 23 scientist points a turn. Harambe here just flaunting his naval power here, just sending these galleys forward in groups of 3. Once these frigates hit, Wine Time is in a ton of trouble. He's getting walls online though, so he is preparing for it, but there's only so much he can do. Scripture getting slotted by one of our faith-based players here. I bet we're going to find out real quick. 119 faith from Agathi, 45 from Box. Wine Time at 35.7, 48 from the Harambe. We do have chariots coming forward, so we could see a mixed hit between knights and frigates. Frigates are going to make really short work of anything being used to defend the choke, as well as the walls themselves of these cities. Take a look at the culture. Harambe at 40. 75 for Box, 43 for Agathy, and 26 for Wine Time. Take a look at Science. Box here at a staggering 132 science per turn. Ask and ye shall be delivered, cake. Harambe sitting at 94 science a turn, 41 for Wine Time. And of course, 53 for Agathy. So we are looking at quite a big thing here. Taking a look at the Civics tree to see where everyone's at. Most of our players here sticking together, as we do have most of them in and around mercenaries, guilds, medieval fairs, working toward that merchant republic. Wine Time is just one step behind though, so this giant stretch in the culture and science scores hasn't been around long enough to really kick in yet. But it is going to over time as that difference compounds. Better balanced game, nerfed Shaolin strategy, correct? Actually, if you're interested in seeing everything the mod changed, if you scroll down below on Twitch or there's a link on YouTube, you can click on a link that will take you to a Google document I wrote up with all of the changes that the mod has. If you're on Twitch, it's the large encampment picture. You can click right on that and it'll take you right to it. All the Box units facing towards the inner side of the continent here as he's just sims away, continues to grow and thrive. Universities are being built as well. You can see them under construction here. Does anyone have apprenticeship? Easy way to tell. Let's find a mine. That is a 1-4 mine apprenticeship. Yep. Apprenticeship from Box. We do have a war declaration going out. Harambe onto Wine Time. Caravels a couple of caravels have been upgraded. India has declared war on India. We have a pretty big civil war on our hands. Will India survive? Square rigging got completed as well. That means we are going to be seeing some frigates. I think India might be in trouble too, guys. How are you doing, Elite Solutions? Welcome to the match. Hope you've been enjoying the weekend as much as I have. These games have been awesome. Harambe scooting the ships around on both sides of the continent to see what else might be there. And he does find Philadelphia on the coast. Harambe needs to get some of these frigates online. He did the war declaration. And he's being very patient and still at the moment. Oh, there's a frigate upgrade right there. Archer shot goes onto the boat, does next to nothing. Remember in Rise and Fall that archers, field cannons, and that were nerfed against ships. However, the artillery units like catapults, on the other hand, do a ridiculous amount of damage to ships. And we do have another 3 frigates being upgraded behind this. I'd like to see a couple of these chariots turn into knights as well to support this attack. Possibly this quadrime and this one get upgraded as well would be nice to see. Now Wine Time also has cartography, but he doesn't have the gold. Archer heals the boat. Just puts little spikes on the boat instead, makes it do more damage. I wonder if we're going to see some end-of-turn movements come out. We do have 6 frigates from Harambe, and he does have admirals to accompany them, remember. Now, bear in mind here, Frigates are a Renaissance era naval unit. Most of the admirals gotten will not have applied yet. However, he's getting a medieval admiral next turn, as you can see. And that is going to be the one that makes the difference. That said, next scientist coming up is going to be Newton. Now, 24 points a turn coming out of box, and 8 from Harambe. The question's going to be projects. If Harambe projects and is able to out-project box and steal Isaac Newton as well as Hipasha like he did, that's going to be huge. First frigate coming in. Takes the hit, kills the archer. Second one comes in. Third one comes in, shoots down the walls. Fourth frigate comes in, shoots on the city center, minus 61 health. Is down to 113 garrison health. Melee units are withdrawing from the choke point here. One of the admirals from earlier was used to make one of these frigates a fleet. We do have a war declaration from Harambe against Agathe now. And that Harambe has envoy bombed Hattusa. And that is going to lock out Agathe on science. Now, let's see how this has affected the science here for this turn. Box is sitting at 135 science still. Harambe has shot up to 101 science. Agathe is sitting at 53. Wine Time at 44. Wine Time science doing pretty good, all things considered. But he is definitely in trouble here. Looking at culture. Harambe at 40. Box at 78. Agathe at 48. And Wine Time at 28. That frigate fleet is going to do a ton of damage. And just for the memes, terrible, terrible damage. Knights getting upgraded in the back here, and they are going to be moving forward with the General Boudica. This is going to cause a great deal of havoc here. We have more naval units, quadremes and caravels moving up to support these frigates. There is a caravel on this side to do the city hits, as well as up top. We are going to start seeing cities fall here from Wine Time starting next turn. And it looks like Wine Time recognizes that he cannot save the city. He's going to fall back, try to reform a defense at Chennai. Coming into the top of the turn here. Let's see how the players are going to use the first moves of the turn. Oh wow, we have a triple desync. We are going to be pausing for sure, though. I've noticed that we've only started having desyncs when the BBG and spectator mods get messed with on the Steam Workshop. I know it's been brought up before, and we looked at before during the games that we started having issues with. Mods were getting tinkered with and updated, so I kind of wish that would stop. Agathe's back, Harambe's back, waiting for Box and Wine Time. 3, waiting for box. Let's go, let's go. Come on, box, you back? Yes, alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I don't desync. Well, you know what? I did at least want to respect all the players, and desynced or not. Didn't think he had to say anything he didn't do. Here we go. Big frigate hits coming out onto the city center here. General moving forward with the Varro and these archers. The scouts got to get out of the way. Ooh, knights charging forward. Another knight coming on out. I'd like to see the caravel hit onto the city center, and the rest of these frigates move on toward Imphal. Could get a lot of work done. What are we waiting for? There was a desync on the turnover, and the reason why you pause is so everyone gets in, there's a countdown, and then the turn can continue. Because different people may load in at different times, that could give whoever loads in first a huge advantage, and a lot of combat moves could happen that otherwise wouldn't have. It's about being fair to everybody. And we did have some naval combat go out here. It's some big hit trades. However, Wine Time's galley does get swept up by these three. Quadrime's moving forward alongside these frigates. We do have a missionary as well. Harambe looking to get a lot of work done with these missionaries. And there is the city hit. Now, the rebellion's going to hit soon. Faru on Faru action going on. Big hit's going to go on to Wine Time's capital next turn. And we are going to see hits on Imphal as well. These cities are going to fall in short order here. Harambe making an excellent use of his time. Now we do have a single knight here out from box, and this was likely to inflate the city strength when he saw some of these other cities getting rather large. Now we still, because box did have vision of some of the land Wine Time is in, so he's going to see the city strength inflate because of the caravel technology as well as the caravel being there. He's not going to know it's there though. So by upgrading one of the knights, sure, he pays a little bit more on unit maintenance, but he also inflates his own city strength, which you can see are all up at 42 now. This caravel next turn is going to start smashing that galley. It's going to have to retreat. However, the reinforcements surging from Harambe's lands are going to cause a great deal of damage. Victor is coming in to reassure the city that, hey, not everything is absolutely terrible. That being the case, remember the religious bonuses Harambe has here. 2 gold per city. as well as Crusade, but none of the Crusade has yet to leak into these cities. Now, he is able to turn all of his faith generation into libraries, universities, amphitheaters, as well as art museums later on. So even if he doesn't do much with this faith for now, he can use it during his development stage. And he's going to be able to get a lot done with that faith. Commercial Hub coming up. Medieval Fairs did get unlocked by one of our players. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the Medieval Fairs Civic, it does give you your theater square adjacency, as well as access to the Angkor Wat. And that can be pretty good for some of our players like Box and Agathy, who have a ton of cities right now. Taking a look at the count, India even founded New York, and it still has 2 more settlers on the field still. There's no sign of stopping from Agathy. He's going to go up to 16 cities, 17 if he takes Kabul. Agathy's going to be in a huge position unless... Now I say unless, because Box up to 162 science a turn. 118 from Harambe and 65 from Agathy. If Agathy's not careful, Box could hit cavalry ridiculously quickly. And with that in mind, we could see a huge cav push come out. And with that, he could sweep Agathy off his feet. But Harambe is going to come off of this war in a really good position as well. Frigates lining up to take their shots now. The 2 frigates on the side providing support here to the Varu, cleaning house on the remaining units here. Knights are moving forward as well. One of Harambe's knights actually dying here in the exchanges. He's got to be a little careful here. That is a Varu for putting that -5 down, and it has a general with it. That being the case, let's take a look at the great people. Isaac Newton is still on the field. And it looks like Harambe is starting to project for it, realizing Box is definitely going to get it. If Box gets Newton, he could walk away with the game. But that's only going to hit if when all of his universities are online to really get that bonus in. Now we did have some pretty big frigate hits going on here. Caravel was not able to get in there. It was not in the right position. Next turn, we will be looking at Wine Time's capital going down. Next turn, Imphal should go down as well. The noose is tightening for Wine Time. End of the turn, 71 now going into 72. Agathy is struggling with science because Harambe jacked Hattusa of him. Not sure if you noticed. I said that earlier, Saboki. As soon as he had a galley right here on this fish tile, he discovered Hattusa, and he did a massive, massive envoy dump into it. Doesn't even have the governor there. Just dumped envoys into it. And that's what took Harambe's science and shot it way up. Because Harambe also stole Hippasha. Take a look here. We got the frigate shots coming out, and there's the Caravel hit. Wine Time's capital is down. Frigates lining up to take their shots here. And Caravel's going to come in to sweep Imphal as well. Important thing to remember here, Harambe does not have the crusade bonus either. He has so many frigates out that he's just overwhelming line time. Here we go. Frigates are moving forward to go scouting around here. If Harambe can catch some of these coastal cities down here, he could just straight out raise New Orleans. And the same's going to be if he sends any naval units up and around through here as well. He's going to be able to raise Thonjibur, and with frigate aid, he could even get shots onto Baltimore here, as well as crossing a night over to raise it as well. He could get a lot of work done with these frigates after they've done their job. Agathir has a cheeky missionary in the water. Agathir is huge. Yes, he is. If Agathir starts building, goes to start building tall, he's gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be incredible. But he's got to get there. And he keeps building wide, which is fine. He has the room. With enough time, yes. The question is will he get that time? And he also, you have to remember, has Bacchus right here, who doesn't have much out yet in terms of a military. He has a couple standing forces. He's watching these warrior monks with his chariot. So Bacchus has a large science lead right now. He's 50 points over Harambe and almost 100 points per turn over Agathir. A scout just got its ambush promotion. Where is that triple promoted scout? Medieval era ends in 8 turns. We're going to be taking a look at that soon. Yep, we have warrior monks, Yoshi. They've been sitting here with Kabul for about, I don't know, 30 turns. Agathir should have had this one in the bag. He has to get there first. He has been building wide the entire time, and his cities aren't developed yet. And because of that, he's drastically behind in certain areas. I don't know what that link was supposed to be, Cake, but I don't think it worked. You know, you got Agathir sitting at 36 gold a turn. He's slowly getting up there. The 6 amenities. He's got tons of cities. Taking a look at Harambe now. Harambe spent a lot of his gold, but he's still making 48 a turn with 214 banked. Taking a look at Wine Time. Wine Time isn't doing the best right now. 106 gold, 12 a turn. So there's still some room for some stuff to happen here. But Bacchus, on the other hand, almost 700 gold banked and 157 a turn. Bacchus's economy is incredibly strong. However, Harambe here going for broke is slamming Leventa here with these frigates. He's going to need to get a land unit, and there's a slinger. That's not the land unit we needed. Agathir may very well, once he actually gets to Tall, once he starts getting these districts established, built up, and fully functioning, he'll start to outstrip the other players. But the gap that's there now, will it be too much to overcome when that finally happens? That's the question there. When you build super wide, it's about managing risk. And that's what a lot of decisions in Civ come down to. Is this worth the risk? Because someone who goes all early game and mid game pressure, like Harambe right now, he's pure mid game. Renaissance era is mid game. Is the beginning of mid game even. And with that in mind, I mean, he's built super tall. He's using faith to purchase libraries, universities, and his amphitheaters. So he's doing that to keep himself going. He's dumped to Hattusa in order to lock out Ogathy from it, which Ogathy probably had tons of trade routes going to. Harambe's navy is looking for blood in the water here because he's undoubtedly seen through the trade screen. People got a lot going on. Now, someone does have guilds completed for their civics, and that is going to be Bacchus right now. Bacchus is on Merchant Republic. Completed medieval fairs. Divine Right. Okay, so one of our players has elected, and I want to say it's going to be Harambe here, or maybe even Ogathy, that's going to transition. Yes, as I thought, Bacchus has Merchant Republic. One of our players here between Ogathy and Harambe have gone for that monarchy grab. Kabul has been defeated this turn. The warrior monks have done their job for God, or whoever you believe in. They got 2 promotions on 3 of them, 1 on the other 4, so a lot more to get done to really get those fat, juicy promotions. To really make them terrifying. Lots of trade routes going around for Box here. Look at all these improvements. He's doing an excellent job getting these tile improvements down. Universities coming online for these campuses. I do want to see who grabbed Newton because we didn't get to see that. And that was in fact grabbed by Box. Harambe got Galileo though. Galileo's a pretty good burst of science. Now he does have a 2 mountain hit for it. Wine time calling the GG here. He did lose his capital. He is free to go. GG Wine time. It was a great effort. Unfortunately, Harambe did manage to get you. Theocracy picked up. I'm assuming this is going to be Ogathy who has it. Yep, Theocracy. Are you up for a CC to Bacchus? I don't think things change. Players are discussing a CC to Bacchus science because with him getting Newton, those universities are going to give an extra 2. This does have to be unanimous through the 3 of them. $178 science for Box. 116 for Harambe and 80 for Ogathy. And just so everyone's aware, Newton has not been popped yet. And Box rushed education down once he knew he was safe. So universities aren't fully established. Most of them are still being constructed. If he wanted a minute to think here about the CC vote. Wants 10 more turns. Alright. Next vote at turn 84. 3, 2, 1. Players have voted to keep going here. Ogathy thinks he can swing the game in his favor. But will this spur Box to become ultra-violent? Box is sitting right around astronomy, metal casting, and siege tactics. One of these 3 techs is what he's at. Deal or no deal? No deal, man. You throw that out and open that dollar case. Hey, Wine Time, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Bad game. Kabul gets conquered. Envoys being sent to Vilnius. Rejected. Industrial zones getting built up for Agathi's cities here. Now, Harambe has found New Orleans here, and he's going to be taking that out. He's going to get some promotions on these frigates, too, for doing all these hits. As a reminder to everyone out there talking about the map and how they do or don't like spawns, I did not select the map. The map seed was provided to me 5 minutes prior to the match. That said, we do have a pretty good game going here with the remainder. The question is going to be how things continue to shape up. Newton gets popped in 190 science from Box, 124 from Harambe, and Agathi at 81. Now take a look at culture here. We're at 54 from Harambe, 92 from Box, and 61 from Agathi. So Harambe is actually on the short end of the stick for culture cards. Now looking at religion here, because Agathi is on theocracy, remember. And if you're unfamiliar with theocracy, you have the religious strength in combat, you get that extra faith per citizen in cities that have governors, and of course you get that 50% discount on purchases with faith as well. So we could see some pretty big buys with faith itself, and it looks like they're going to be in the form of warrior monks. Now, Box is starting to eck out a little bit with some of his units. He's holding up these chokes with Avaru, the archer sitting back. And he has units down here to defend. He's using this knight and this chariot to poke out a little bit. He did withdraw the chariot a tile across the river when he saw Kabul go to Agathi finally. Now, Vilnius is actually soothed by the AI right now because Wartime did hold it. And Vilnius affects alliance levels, which is unfortunate because, well, this isn't always war game. Lots of naval units coming down here towards New Orleans. Harambe cleaning up the remainder of Winetime cities. Amusingly enough, El Cid got picked up by Winetime's AI as well. Next general is going to be Ethelfled. Kola is going to be the next admiral. I'm assuming that, yeah, Harambe hasn't passed it just yet. He did take it, in fact. All the admirals are going to end up going to him, so he's going to be reaping the benefits of those. Everyone passing here on Piero de Bardi here, wanting that next merchant instead. De Châtelet is going to be the next scientist here, and we do have finally some competition for writers and artists. Medieval era ending in 5 turns. We'll be taking a quick look at the era score points here in a little bit. We do have a battering ram coming up here to support this Varu so it can smack that wall. And there is that hit. Now, that Varu got hit pretty badly for that. And unfortunately, he cannot retreat. Oh, musket upgrades coming out. Another knight upgrade coming in to do the job here, because that Varu is just not going to cut it. The bigger loss is going to be at the end of the turn, though, because he's going to lose the battering ram as well. Philadelphia gets taken in short order. We do just have Rajamandri, and then of course Chennai itself. New Orleans getting shot at some more by these frigates. It does get taken over by the caravel that comes through and immediately razed. No coastal cities on this map are going to be safe from Harambe. Now, amusingly enough, if you look here at the bottom, it is completely blocked off. This isn't supposed to happen on maps. There's always supposed to be at least one tile across the bottom for the complete envelopment. But that's not going to be the case, so Harambe's going to have to turn this fleet around when he finds this and send it all the way back this way, which is going to take a lot longer, but he's going to be pleasantly surprised when he sees it, especially this capital being here, coastal, and he can get the raise on Armstar as well. Now we're going to take a look at the era scores here. Now remember, these are our point values. Keep those in mind. Harambe setting an era score at 91, 83 for Vox, and 80 total for Agathy. That being the case here, let's take another look around. The galley is skirting around the upper edge of the map here, is going to be able to get into this pocket C, and is definitely going to be able to see this city here of Thanjavur. That is going to be able to be taken out by Harambe's fleet when he does find it. Until then, though, and there isn't much else he can really hit with this fleet. Now, he could keep his fleet right around here by Hattusa, Philadelphia, and Ramjabur, and land units are going to have a hell of a time ever getting through here. And he, of course, could keep some more around, you know, just scattered around Box Ocean here to where nothing can come near him without him seeing it. And with that, he'll have the knowledge to make whatever choices he deems are best. Exploration getting picked up as well. Some more harbors getting built up. Taking a quick look-see at the great people here. Du Châtelet still getting picked up. And 30 scientist points returned from Box. He's got a heavy lock on these scientists. And 20 per turn from the merchants even. It's going to be hard to snatch things away from him that he doesn't want. That being the case here, only Agathy going for engineers right now, I apologize. And no one else contesting these admirals still. Galileo still hasn't been popped yet. Harambe keeping it for a hit for a specific technology, it looks like. I'd like to see some unit pre-builds perhaps come out of Box here, because he could get a huge cavalry hit. And even if all he did was a run-by and not even take cities, just pillaging all these improvements would be devastating to Agathy's economy. Asking Box if he'll tie for second. He means Harambe second. They are going to go ahead and vote for a CC. Let's see what Box says to that. Now they are CCing 2 Box. And Vox will win this match. Congratulations, FR, and of course, Vox, for being the man at the helm today, bringing his clan a win in this mirror match free-for-all as Gandhi, no less. Excellently well played by everyone involved. It was a real treat to watch. I hope all of you guys watching throughout the match and this weekend so far have had an excellent time. And bringing it on up for you guys, I'll go ahead and put the schedule up. Tomorrow's match is going to be at 8 EDT. That is 8 Eastern. And that is going to be the free-for-all on an archipelago map with all random civs. And that's going to be an absolute blast. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope to see all of you there. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for swinging by. And I hope to see you guys next time.